Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It's April the 22nd, and we're looking at 2 Samuel chapter 20. It says that there happened to be a man of Belial whose name was Sheba, and he blew a trumpet and said, "We will have no part with David, neither will we have inheritance in the son of Jesse, every man to his tent, O Israel." And every man went up from David and followed Sheba the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan to Jerusalem. So this was a serious threat to David, to his life and to his kingdom. Joab, who was general of David's army, it says they went out after him, Joab's men, the Kerethites and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba. And on the way, Joab took Amasa with a beard and killed him. And all the people followed Joab, and they went up to Abel of Beth Maachah, and they cast a bank against the city. And a wise woman in the city cried over the wall. She said, "Here, I say, here I pray you, Joab, come near, that I may speak with you." And Joab said, "Well, who are you?" And she said, "Well, listen to what I have to say. There was a time when anything that was spoken in Abel, that is the city of Abel, was always an end to the matter, because there was a certain amount of authority and wisdom in the things that were said." And she said, "And I am one that are peaceable and faithful in Israel, and yet you seek to destroy the city. I'm a mother of Israel. Why will you swallow up the inheritance of the Lord?" And Joab answered and said, far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so. But a man of Ephraim, Sheba, has lifted up his hand against the king, against David. So deliver him up, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said, "His head will be thrown over the wall." And the woman went to all the people in her wisdom, and they executed Sheba, and they cast it out to Joab, and Joab left, destroying the city. Now, this is how summary justice was performed in these days. Now, from verse 23, we have a small list of David's officials. Joab was over all the host of Israel, so he was in charge of the whole army. Benaiah was over the Kerethites and the Pelethites. Adoram was in charge of the tribute, because there were countries that Israel subdued, and those countries paid tribute to David. Jehoshaphat was recorder, and Shiva was scribe. Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, and Ira was the chief ruler about David, so he would be what we call prime minister, or perhaps president. Gibeonites are avenged. Then there was a famine in the land in the days of David for 3 years, and year after year David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, "It is for Saul, for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites." You see, Saul in his zeal had slaughtered a lot of the Gibeonites, not recognizing that they had a peace treaty with Israel. And the Lord is very meticulous about peace treaties. When a person gives an oath, either in war or a personal oath, that oath is to be kept. And so David goes to speak to the Gibeonites, and he says, "What can we do that we might be avenged of Saul?" Saul's house needed to be avenged. So they chose 7 men of his sons. Now they spared Mephibosheth for the sake of Jonathan, because the Lord had made an oath between David and Jonathan. So the king took the 7 sons of Saul, or grandsons, and he delivered them to the Gibeonites, and they hanged them on a hill before the Lord, that is, at the barley harvest. And as a result of that, the vengeance of blood was averted from the whole nation. And they took the bones of Saul and Jonathan, and they put them into a cloth, and they buried them as David commanded, in the sepulchre of his father Kish. And after that, God was entreated for the land. See, there was a problem, and that problem had to be dealt with. And when it was dealt with, the Lord then would hear their prayer for harvest. And the last passage we have is about the killing of the Philistine giants. It says the Philistines made war with Israel. Each time they made war, they lost one of their giants. These were the brothers, or they were the sons of the giants of Gath. And when David went to battle with the Philistines, it says he became faint. And Ishbi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giants, Abishai killed him. And the men of David swore unto him, saying, Thou shalt not go with us up to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. Oh, I like that. That's my password for today. You see, David, he's called by Israel the light of Israel. He was the one that was in touch with his God. He was the one who was the very light of Israel. I don't know how to describe it, but he was the light of Israel, and that's my password for today. And then we have a series of other battles with Gob, the Philistines at Gob, and Shebechai the Hushite slew Saph, and there was another fight with the Philistines, and Ethan the son of Jaragrim, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite. And then there was another battle, and Jonathan the son of Shimeah, the brother of David, slew the giants. Now, notice that these giants were freaks. They were freaks physically. They were huge in stature. And you notice that this one, in verse 20, it says he had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each feet, 24 in number. So David's servants dealt with the giants of Gath. So there we are. There's my little thought for the day, and I trust your God's blessing on you, and have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye for now.